Okay. So we know for a fact that they had shut down the Strait of Hormuz. This one right here. This was shut down. And now we know that Bob al Manbad has been close to the Houthis. Okay. So these two areas actually have the global oil, gas, economic on chokehold. Now we know Suez Canal is good, but you need to have access in the Red Sea to Bab al Mandab. That you need to have access to that. What they just did here by the act of just the Houthis them shutting this down, Iran shut that down. And as you can see, it's a very narrow pathway. Okay, it's very narrow. It's not big. And being that it's narrow, it's easier for you to detonate anything you say, don't you come near here. It's much easier than what people think. But also, what this is letting us know, this is the money guys that are fighting. And it's about global economic control. Whoever controls the Strait of Hormuz and also Bob al Mandab, they control the global economic. Okay. Now, the reason China and Russia will not stay out of this because it is in their best interest to see to it that the Strait of Hormuz and Bab al Mandab doesn't fall in the hands of the Americans. Okay. Now, the Americans and also in the hands of Israel. So, what we have here is a war that just started. It's not a quick war, people. This is not a 30-day war. This is not a 6-month war. Because what we're talking about here, we're talking about global economic control. We're talking about money, lots and lots of money. Because you see, every boat that go through here and through here will be taxed. Okay. Not only will it be taxed, you'll be taxed according to whoever controls it now. Whatever they say. And that means that China and Russia will have to fall in line and pay what they say they need paid to move these boats in and out of here. And it's not good for China because that means that they're like, hey, that boat right there, you need to drop 100,000 just to get it out of here. And China can't have that. So basically, what we have here, these two chokeholds being put on lockdown. People don't understand how these two areas are major, major routes in the fuel economic engine of this planet. I don't think people understand how big these 2 points are. I don't think people understand the gravity of what the Strait of Hormuz means. And I don't think people understand the gravity with Bob Al Mandai. I don't think they understand what this is here now. Now, what's going to happen here in the coming days? We are going to see things. Here's another map of how important these areas are. Okay, Hormuz is not a joke. That's major. Okay, so they're gonna have to fight to get this open. And what happened here, because it's so narrow, they can actually permanently shut it down. Imagine they can shut that sucker down. They can detonate the path, render it un unaccessible. Okay, and then this right here, they can shut it down too permanently, render it unaccessible. What they can do right here. So we have two areas that's very vital for the planet. And so what's going to happen here? A lot of countries is going to feel this. Now, countries that ain't got nothing to do with this is going to feel the impact of this, especially if they live on imports, meaning if they live on import oil and gas, they're going to feel it. The more heavy dependent you are on imported gas and oil, you're going to feel this immediately, fast, lightning fast. And the less you are dependent on it, it don't matter. So what we can expect, riding bikes is going to go back to being sexy because people are not going to be able to afford oil and gas. Like I'll give it like within 6 or 7 months. most people are not going to be able to fuel their car up. So a lot of people are going to go back to walking on their 2 feet. And a lot of people are going to go into not just walking on their feet. Y'all going to see weird stuff in the future. People are going to jump on horses. Okay, people are going to have little donkeys and horses and stuff. So actually, the human race is going to go backwards a little bit, you know, because the this and people are going back to the field because the fact that this is closed down, people are going to have to go back to planting food. So a lot of people that cannot imagine themselves planting food, they're going to be doing just that. They're going to have to plant their food. My best advice is everybody, if you can, get you a 10, 20 pack of soil, get you some seeds, because when it hits south, you're going to be able, you at least you'll be able to plant your food inside your house, give it enough water and sunlight. Okay. And a lot of things will slow down. Um, there's going to be blackouts, rolling blackouts, and all the places that import gas and oil, rolling blackouts. They're going to have to ration whatever little that they get. So you're going to have whole areas on this planet where they may have electricity for like 2 or 3 hours a day. They may not give them electricity at all throughout the day. Be like, hey, the sun is up. You better go enjoy that sun. You better open the window and let the sunlight hit inside your house, you know. And some places people are going to go back to old way of doing things, candles, you know, because this right here is not a fast war. This is not a fast war, people. This is not a fast moving war. What we're seeing is like little we're seeing like little drip drip drip, okay? And this is going to accelerate, especially the more it goes on. Um Basically what we have here, we have a big mess that was made here. And they're asking for regime change. The thing is, if you don't see a regime change in Iran, that means the clique that came to do regime change is going to get a regime change done to them. This is the way it works strategically. If I came to bust one in you and I don't bust one in you, then guess who's gonna get one bust in them? Me. That's the way the game is, man. It's a cold world, man. It's a cold game, man. It's a cold, cold, cold game out here, man. And so if we take a look at this whole area right here, this is like the fuel engine of the planet. This is where the gas and the oil is coming from. Just this region right here. But like I said, you see this narrow path. This is Bob Al Mandad. This is it right here. Okay. And this is the Strait of Hormuz. Are you seeing what they have in common? Very thin, narrow passage, people. Very thin. Okay. And you see where they're at. And another thing that's very interesting about this is that you do have a regional war. When MBS stood up and said that he's going to respond to Iran, the world didn't understand what they were hearing. He's like, basically, yo, you putting a hurt in my pocket, man. Can't have that. Now, you better stop. That's basically what he's saying. You're putting a hurting on the money, and you're putting a hurting on the global oil and gas economic. You better stop. Y'all fools over there better stop. So bet your bottom dollar he will be clapping back because right now this is what this area runs on. What is their economic? What is Saudi Arabia economic, people? Selling oil. They live on exporting oil and gas. That is what their whole economic engine run on. So you have disturbance going on right now where these cats can pump out millions and millions of barrels and throw it to the world economic right now because these people don't shut it down. And then, of course, he went to war with the Yemenis. And the real reason the war with the Yemenis was to control this. Because if your business is exporting oil and gas all day, you do want access to this all the time. You don't want to not never have access to it. So what they wanted to do was that they wanted to control this little spot right here. So that was what that 12-year war was about over there. And as we can see, they didn't win. They didn't succeed. So they got flushed back into their terrain, Saudi Arabia. Okay, so that was very unsuccessful. And for me, I always felt like it was a test run because for me, if My main thing is export of oil and gas and stuff, fuel. I'm gonna need to have this. So y'all gonna have to come up off this because I don't want for y'all to interrupt my business. Now y'all can do what y'all do, act a fool, but you see this right here? This a must have. So right now, whoever, and we can see people don't understand how dirty this game is. This game ain't got nothing to do with love, people. This game ain't got nothing to do with emotion. Yeah, they see the dying people. Yeah, they see it. They see the tears. They see all that. But that's not how they think. They they have cold calculation. Emotion has nothing to do with it. They're not driven by feelings, emotion at all. They are driven by risk and reward. Yes, I know what all the risk is. What does the reward look like? And then also, this is a clique. There's a money crew. This ain't that just one family that's creating all this. No, this is external powers that's coming in like a mob, like mafioso in this region, and they want the golden goose. They want the golden egg from the goose, you know, and because of that, no one gonna back down. Eagle is gonna take take things to where it shouldn't go because everybody's got their foot on the gas. Now they're letting Eagle determine what they're gonna do, what they ain't gonna do. So this is a lot bigger than that Iran has weapon of mass destruction. It's way bigger than that. This is money, people. Money is cold and is calculated. It has nothing to do with feeling. Very unfortunate that there are innocents that are losing their life. Yes, but that's not the way the money team think, people. You know, very unfortunate. And then as we can see here, the Red Sea, like I said, it's good, but you got to get through here for you to even get to the Gulf of Aden. Got to get through there, people. And this is a very important, very, very important. And that war with Saudi Arabia with the Yemens, this was about this strait right here. They weren't openly saying it, but that's really what they were coming from. And they managed to push them off. Okay. So they know how to push people off. They know how to repel people. They know how to tell you don't bring your butt in here. And they already said, y'all better not bring your tail through. Nobody come through this damn path. Or else you're gonna get it. Come through here. You're gonna end up with a bloody nose. And they mean just that. That's what they're doing, people. Um, and so when we take a look at this, this is very insane. So much insane. There we go. You see that? Right here. This narrow pathway right here. It's where boats go in and out to get the goodies, but you gotta come through them. And they have created the destruction. Nothing going through there. Them boys say nothing. They're not. We don't care about that. You ain't coming through here. Okay. So nothing going through there. Nothing, 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 nothing going through there at all. So here we go. Nothing at all is going through there. There you have, people. This is very important. Very, very, very important. See, you got to come through here, man. You can't come through here if they say you ain't coming through there. So, very unfortunate. You ain't coming through here. And make it so crazy about the Strait of Hormuz is that they don't need any sophisticated weapon just to ensure you don't come through there. Here, they don't need anything sophisticated to see to it you don't come in there. So everybody's gonna feel this. This is just a hot mess. Um, yeah, a lot of people are gonna be riding bikes. A lot of people very soon not gonna be able to put gas in their car globally. The global economic is gonna tank because of this, and we're gonna see Saudi Arabia is gonna lose it. They're gonna lose their mind up in there. Oh yeah, they're gonna lose their flipping mind up in there. The more this go on, I expect for him to do some kind of clapback by sometime next week. Random. Saudi Arabia, I expect for them to bust a move because they losing lots and lots and lots of money, people. And they got some trillionaires in there that probably right now, probably chain smoking, walking up and down in their mansion and thinking, I'm gonna break every bone off. I'm gonna break every bone in their body. I'm gonna break all the bones in the Yemens, and I'm gonna break all the bones in the Iranians. Chain smoking and saying I'm gonna break their bones. I'm gonna break their damn bones. I'm gonna break every bone in their body because these are trillionaires in here, man. And then also their external partners that's coming in for the kill too. Probably over there, probably in the war room. Think about what they're gonna do to Iran. Think about what they're gonna do to the Yemenis. So as you can see, this is going to get messy, 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 messy real fast. This is not a 1 month war, people. This is not a 3 month. This is not even a 6 month, people. This we probably looking at something that probably like years. Because they're gonna be one winner. And whoever the winner is, um, will have domination. So right now, if Israel and America can't pull this off, and all of their allies that will be jumping in. So we've got Israel, we've got America. We know for a fact Saudi Arabia is saying they jumping in. Okay. And then we know for a fact some of these Gulf nations say they jumping in. So this is a regional war right here. We're looking at a regional war. Okay. There's gonna be a slow build up until the world look. You're gonna have countries jumping in. And by the time the world look, let's just say this ain't happening real fast. Let's just say for the next 3 or 4 years, we're gonna have World War III in the background. It's when it hit the climax, when we see Russia throwing, when Russia jumps in physically. Russia, I'm coming in, and then we see China, I'm coming in. That's what we know. All right, what we doing? What we doing here, people? This ain't no fast war, people. Mm-mm, no. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. For me, I've been new it money. Yep. 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 Mm-mm.